Welcome back to another video, guys, and today we have some exciting stuff. Actually, I figured out something interesting, and maybe it's something you or some of you might be interested to know. And this is particularly for the perk cards in the game and how you can potentially predict what the next couple of perk cards are going to be. Obviously, this is not 100% accurate, but it gives you a sort of like a potential future per card pool that you can predict that NG could potentially add. So let's just go over this, and I'll show you how I came up to this conclusion. So there you go. This is something like a not really a table, but just like some names of the heroes in the game, which are characters in the show. So obviously I took out the common heroes because they're all game original people and they're not actually in the show. And on the right side you have the perks available, which are only based on certain heroes items, clothes, whatever somebody wears or has specific item from the show. And these are all the cards out right now, including the latest Herschel's trauma box. So this is something interesting here. There is a pattern. So it seems like the perk cards that they come out with are based on a certain hero in the game that is on the TV show. And so far I put Sheriff's duffel bag with as Rick because it's Sheriff and Rick is the Sheriff. But it's quite possible we might see maybe a special perk card that's based on something Rick has, like Rick's Sheriff hat maybe. Okay, then Daryl has his ear necklace, which we know. Glenn has his pocket watch. Morgan has his go bag. Carl has her fireworks. Abraham has his weapon crate. Negan has his leather jacket. Herschel has his trauma box. Maggie has her wedding ring. Rosita has her dynamite, and Gabriel has his Bible. So these are all the confirmed heroes which have a perk card so far in the game, which gives a big opportunity and options for other potential perk cards in the game, starting with Eugene. So let's use the unique iOS AR mode and have a look at each of these characters. So Eugene, he honestly, the first item that comes to my mind is his pickle jar. So it will be quite interesting if they actually do make Eugene's pickle jar as a perk card, because this is the card I associate Eugene with. I mean, this is the item associated Eugene with, so they have to make a pickle jar for sure for Eugene. Although I'm not quite sure what it can do, like certain percent chance to guarantee a loss in battle, something like that. But I definitely feel like Eugene's pickle jar could be a potential card in future. Next up we have Michonne, which is again an interesting character. We have not got a Michonne perk card, and she has two versions in the game, and I feel like Michonne's cape has a interesting could be an interesting as a perk card. Not sure what it can do though. Like it's an interesting thing. Maybe something with silencing, maybe because you kind of stay hidden with it, so maybe it could be something raiders maybe. But it's something certainly interesting to think about if they actually do bring some sort of item as a perk card from Michonne's cape certainly, or her katana. But I don't know, we have they done weapons as perk cards? I don't think so. It's more like items. Okay, next up is Shiva. Now this one is a hard one. I honestly don't really know if we're ever gonna get a Shiva perk card and what it could be. Maybe Shiva's fur or Shiva's claws. It could be interesting if it's like something like Shiva's claws. Could be something to do with battle damage maybe, but I'm not sure. It looks I don't know. It's a bit hard with Shiva. Maybe they'll never add a perk card with Shiva. Next up, the governors. Now this one is, I think, an obvious one, and something that stands out on the governor is his eye patch. So definitely I do kind of expect maybe or see governor's eye patch perk card in the game in future. I wonder what this could do though, even if it comes out. So it's something interesting to think about. Obviously you guys can drop your ideas as well of these characters and their potential perk cards and what items they could feature. But the governor's eye patch certainly is an interesting one, and I'm maybe excited for it. I don't know. Okay, next up is Ezekiel. So he doesn't have a perk card as well. Something that stands out on Ezekiel though, he has a cane. I pretty much am sure I associate this guy with a cane from the show episodes, so potentially Ezekiel's cane could be an interesting perk card. Not sure what it can do, but it's just an item, so well, maybe there's another item that's associated with you with Ezekiel, but this is the cane is like the first one that comes to my mind. Next up is Alpha, and Alpha is an interesting one. I feel like Alpha's mask would be an interesting one because she's the leader of the Whisperers, and the mask is kind of like the symbol of Alpha. So I feel like the Alpha's mask could be something interesting. So definitely maybe a potential perk card, so we'll never know. Next up is Terra, and Terra is an interesting one again because I don't know any items that I can associate with Terra, even clothing wise. I honestly, this is the one of the few characters I honestly don't know what they could do as a perk card. So drop your opinions and thoughts, guys. I really want to read those. Okay, next up is Sasha. Now this is another character I'm not really sure what they can do. She has a small backpack on her back on the cards, but maybe could be Sasha's backpack or something. I'm not quite sure, but something interesting to think about as well. Next up is Yumiko, and Yumiko, she's kind of new, and I honestly don't know what I can associate with her apart from her bow, but we did get an epic bow which looks exactly like Yumiko's bow, so it definitely cannot be any weapon. So I'm not quite sure what they can do for Yumiko here. So yeah, looking forward to your thoughts. Next up is Tyreese. Now Tyreese has a pouch on his back, kind of like waist back, kind of like he has like a pistol and then like a bunch of, maybe is it a grenade? I haven't really seen it precisely, but I feel like he can have like a Tyrese's pouch or Tyrese's beanie, because he always has a beanie on, and this could be something interesting. I don't know. Okay. Next up is Siddiq, and Siddiq is another interesting character. Honestly, I don't really know what they can give him as a perk card. Honestly, I don't know this one. I'm gonna skip it. Next up is Dwight, and I feel like Dwight's scar could be some interesting perk card. Like you just have the image of his scar on his face. That could be interesting, and just, I don't know what's gonna do. Like maybe makes you chance to be immune to something. I don't know, or maybe I don't know, extra damage. I don't know honestly. But Dwight's scar could be an interesting perk card indeed. Next up is Beta. Now Beta, the thing I symbolize Beta is we are two things. So his knife, which I don't think they're gonna do because it's a weapon, and his coat. So Beta's coat, he has a long black coat, which could be a perk card for him. Beta's coat, interestingly, and his mask. But obviously, if they do Alpha's mask, I don't think they're gonna do Beta's mask as well. And Alpha has more of a mask symbol there, so I feel like her mask should be for Alpha, and maybe Beta has his coat. But it's another interesting thing with Beta. I'm really excited for his perk card. Hopefully we get a perk card for Beta, to be honest. Next up is Jesus. So yeah, Jesus, again, maybe a beanie. I don't know really. He has a long coat as well. I honestly don't know what they could do for Jesus. Interestingly enough, I honestly don't know. And finally, it's Koro. And Koro, we can easily do like his hat. Honestly, I can. Karo's hat is an interesting perk card, to be honest, right there. They could do something with the fact that he's with one eye or something. I don't know, but his hat is probably the best item to have as a perk card, although not sure what it can do. But definitely there is quite a lot of potentials here for perk cards, and obviously when they add new heroes, you still have this extra potential that they increase with the addition of new heroes. So interesting, yeah, it's very interesting, and I hope that we can have some interesting perks in future. So yeah, this is my deduction on why I think we could have all these potential perk cards, because that's how they base the perk cards. Hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you guys you can drop maybe your comments and your thoughts on these perk cards, and I'll see you all on my next video.